If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is April the 30th, 2024, and today the topic is Focus on Today. Yes, focus on today, everybody. Happy Tuesday? Yes, happy Tuesday. I hope you guys had a wonderful Monday. Mine was just fine. Yes, mine was good overall. My main highlights from yesterday, of course, is we had church on Mondays, y'all. And it was our last day of the throwback series in the kids ministry. And so yours truly, I dressed in my 70s hippie attire. Oh my goodness. Perfect. Anywho, I dressed in my 70s attire and whatnot because that was the last throwback theme. And yeah, overall, that's pretty much the main highlight of yesterday. Now, one thing I do have to, I guess, acknowledge is that there was a couple, I guess you could say, bad news moments, which I guess in some ways inspired this juice this morning. But long story short, I did find out that one of my coworkers at Mountain West Church, she was on staff, and she recently left the staff. Well, I found out that she passed. Well, at least we got the word yesterday. I don't know when she passed. I don't know how she passed. And I don't know what all is going on. But, I found out that she passed yesterday. So I have to acknowledge that, And I also took some time. I was looking for NJ's birth certificate because, again, I told you guys about how we're looking into getting him into school and things of that nature. And I came across my father's autopsy and, when I was looking for my son's birth certificate and whatnot. And I don't know, I just took some time and read that yesterday. And it's just very interesting, man. Life, here today, gone tomorrow. And then people will be trying to figure out, like, what happened and things of that nature. Autopsy reports, like all kinds of things that, go on. And then whatever legacy you left, that obviously continues and whatnot, even when you're gone. And so, yeah, I mean, hey, man, I took some time to reflect on all of those things yesterday. But I would say that today's conversation about focus on today, again, is inspired by a lot of things, including what I just told you. But I also have to, I guess, shout out a homegirl of mine who's going through a transition, I believe, a bit of a cultivation period of her own. And, as I was trying to be encouraging and inspiring to her, one of the things that I shared with her yesterday was to focus on today. I know a lot of times, again, y'all know I'm guilty. I have been guilty over the years of always pursuing, going, thinking about the next thing. And so at this point in my life, I'm focusing on being content where I'm at, right? Focusing on today, focusing on what the truth is and things of that nature. And so, as I was having that conversation with her to encourage and inspire her that, hey, man, let's look at the positives, let's look at, God is working with you, for you, and through you. Because look, you have opportunities, you have open doors and windows and things of that nature. And so don't be discouraged by, again, lies from the enemy. Because, the enemy will come in and tell you all kinds of lies about you, about your life, and different things of that nature. And then we get so bogged down by, again, focusing on the future and what we think is going to happen, or, trying to put two and two together, saying, okay, well, if it looks like this right now, then there's no hope. And unfortunately, if you walk in that way and allow the enemy to speak those lies to you and you believe them, then ultimately, yeah, that will become your future. But again, like the Bible tells us numerous times, there is plenty to focus on for today. And so, as I was encouraging her and inspiring her to focus on what the truth is and focus on, what she could do in that present moment, I had to focus again. I had to, consider my own life and things of that nature as well. Um, Again, I've been telling you guys, I've been kind of struggling with, am I in the right place, doing the right thing at the right time with the right person? All those different type of things that have been trying to cloud my mind and judgment. Um, and it just goes on because you think about, well, what if this and what if that and the future this and the future that and the past this and the past that, instead of focusing on, again, today and what the truth is about your situation today. Again, if you have life, health, and strength, that is a blessing. If you have a roof over your head, that is a blessing. If you have food, if you have clothing, if you have means of transportation, that's a blessing. If you have a job, that's a blessing. Um, a lot of times we look down on those basic necessities because I guess we think that, again, they're basic necessities, right? We think that they're just normal things, but then we come across people that don't have those things. And it's not about, again, playing the comparison game and saying, okay, well, I have those things, so I'm better than you. No, that's not the case. It's just that we need to acknowledge that, again, God is there. He's blessing us with the things He's blessed us with. And so we don't take advantage of those things and take advantage of the blessings. Uh, it's just best to, again, acknowledge them as blessings, and not only that, but then to I guess just, again, focus on the present and be content for today. And so, again, that's the inspiration. Let's go ahead and give you guys these verses. I mean, I didn't write down too many verses today, but hopefully what I did write down will be encouraging and inspiring. Okay, so Matthew 6:34 says, therefore do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. I mean, listen, we already know this verse, and but I don't think we live this verse out. Like, we know what it says, but for some reason, we'll read this and still start doubting and being anxious and fretting about tomorrow and next year and all these different things. When at the end of the day, again, focusing on today. What do you have today? What can you do today? Um, why should we do that? Let me give you guys the next verses that I felt led to write down, and that was James 4:13-15. It says, come now, you who say today or tomorrow we will go into such and such town and spend a year there in trade and make a profit, yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we uh, will live and do this or that. And you guys hear me say that all the time. I say that at the end of every episode. I definitely have been trying to incorporate that thought into my life to say, okay, if the Lord will this, if the Lord will that. Again, I feel like, again, my father may have had so many ideas and plans and things of that nature. The lady that I just told you guys about, that passed recently. I saw her recently post, I think it was last week, that she was, had signed up for school and going back to, getting some type of certification, whatever the case may be. Even my friend, for example, I'm sharing a little bit about her life. I mean, I'm sure she, had all the plans about how she imagined things would be. And then when things don't pan out, at least she again is still here to be able to pursue whatever it is the Lord wants her to do. But again, I feel like I've been talking about this over the past few days. It's just so important to get into alignment with what the Lord wants you to do. Again, if we humble ourselves and understand that, okay, He's in control, so it's the Lord's will if I do this or have this or do that or have that, then again, your life can be more fulfilled and purposeful because you are in alignment with, again, God's plan, His will, His way. Um, but, if we're out of alignment, right, if we're allowing our feelings to dictate our choices, or whatever the case may be, we may find ourselves, at the end of the road, and we may not even know it at all. Again, I don't know what happened to my coworker. I hope and pray that it was natural causes and things of that nature, but I have no clue. But regardless, I mean, I'm sure, based on the little bit that I saw last week and stuff like that, if she had known, that her end was coming the very next week, you know, I just don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just don't know. And because we don't know, it's, again, it's important to get into alignment with what the Lord wants to do. It's important for us to focus on today and what we can do and things of that nature. Sure, there's nothing wrong with planning, right? There's nothing wrong with putting things in place and thinking about the future. And again, doing whatever you can to make sure the next generation is better off than you were. Like, that's all great, right? But we just can't get bogged down by those things so much so where we are neglecting to communicate with the Lord, and then we find ourselves, in a place that I guess we just, I mean, I don't know. So anyway, so those are the verses that stood out to me this morning. I don't have too much to add. When I was thinking about the Go Deeper section, I wanted to challenge everybody to just let us take some time and just reflect on a few things. There's a couple of verses that I hope that you guys can take some time and reflect on, about, one of them was about giving, asking the Lord to give us our daily bread. Let's reflect on that. There's another verse as well that was standing out to me. But if you guys just go to openbible.info, and just plug in the phrase or the quote, if the Lord's will, you guys check out those different verses that are there, and I hope that they will be encouraging and inspiring to you. Yeah, that's ultimately the juice this morning. Let me go ahead and let you guys know the Bible verse of today. Okay, that's 2 Peter 1:3. It says, according as his divine power hath given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness through the knowledge of him that hath called us to glory and virtue. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Visit chatholybible.com to download the Bible Chat and Study app today. Embark on a transformative journey of faith. Your connection with Scripture starts now.